did that little banner thing.
And we're live.
Sweet. I'm excited. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even opened it up. Let me see.
I guessed it up a little.
Okay, sweet. That's cool. So you added the
That
Main
wasn't
Streets of Gadgetzan and the Hunter thing, right?
correct. It's just a blank spot.
Yeah, well, the blank spot is supposed to be like a piece of parchment, like nailed to the wall, and then we'll put information there on what we're going to talk
Hey,
about.
I told him to talk to you about it. So if he didn't talk to you about it, it's your fault.
No, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I just saw it. I closed it out real quick because I started getting robotic. So, but
It's the
in
Roshi
the future,
election, so that's all that matters.
yeah,
I
in
don't
the
care
future,
what
what
you
we
think.
hope to do, well, in the future, what I hope to see is like maybe like it'll be like episode, what we're talking about, and then just a few short notes. That way, when people come in, they'll know. But I think it's super cool. I like it. I apologize that my face is still on there. That I know a lot of people don't need to see that, but you know.
Well, there. Now it says episode 123, Hunter. Because it's editable.
Oh, I like the editable. Dude, that looks good, man. I like it. Rez, always making us look good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Even when I don't.
Okay, did you get the link in the Skype?
Oh yeah, let me get that and start up Zencastr. Oops.
Excuse me.
Maybe I didn't.
What?
I didn't get the link in Skype.
Okay, look in the show notes after the intro. Oops.
Shots after the intro.
Oh.
It says join Skype. That's the only link I see in Skype. And it asks me to copy the link. Well, let me maximize and see what
Well,
I'm
there.
missing. There it is. I see it now. For some reason, it wasn't showing up.
I must have put it in the wrong chat or something.
It literally showed up as soon as you said, there you go. Almost like you just pasted it in there.
Because I did.
And there it is. It's in there. I am in Zencasting. I'm currently
See me
Zencasting.
no more.
Zero, see me no more. What's up, guys? All right. Dude, this week makes me sad.
Why?
I am having fun though.
Okay, we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
So I got. Yeah, we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So you ready then?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Okay, then I'm gonna start recording.
You gotta take a selfie real quick. I'm supposed to take a selfie when we go live.
Is this the new rule?
This is a new rule. Boots for the win. What's up, man?
Boots. Okie dokie. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you keep saying that. And then I catch you doing other things.
I'm waiting for the music. I'm gonna dance.
You're listening to Legend of the Innkeeper, the Hearthstone podcast for casual players. Welcome to Legend of the Innkeeper. I'm Fastidious.
And I am Espo.
And this week, we are talking about hunters. And I should say real quickly that we are just after Christmas, just before the New Year, and Merry Christmas to you. How was your Christmas?
Merry Christmas to you, dude. My Christmas was uneventful.
That's always excellent.
It was good, yeah. I had a day off of work, which was nice, and I ran around eating lots of food at various grandparents' houses, and it was good. It was good. How was yours?
It was very uneventful. We went and saw a movie on Saturday, and we hung out with a friend on Sunday, and I was off, thankfully, 4 days. It was nice to have the little break. So
Yeah, it was. Sunday was a break for me, and I enjoyed not having to worry about going to work. I worked all day Saturday. We were open till 6.
I can imagine.
So I was playing Santa Claus to all those men and women that want to buy their kids bicycles on Christmas Eve.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the men and women that wanted to buy their children guns.
No. So guns. It was Black Friday, and we don't sell a lot of guns for Christmas. I mean, we sell quite a bit, but not like we do Black Friday. Christmas is bicycles, lots of bicycles. So I went crazy getting bicycles Friday. I think I sold probably 50 some bicycles, and built them all.
And I was going to say, and assembled them too, right?
Yeah, and put kids on them and made sure they felt special. And
nice.
Yeah, I did my Christmas duty.
Well, I'm sure at least one or two of them felt special. Probably a lot more than that.
Yeah, I had a mom and dad call corporate on me. They were like, Mr. Espo is Santa Claus himself for Dick's Sporting Goods. And I was like, oh my God. But I had a lot of...
You do get that Kris Kringle beard thing going, you know.
I guess, and I wore my Santa hat, and the kids loved it. I mean, they, and then the parents that came in without their kids to buy bikes. I was actually amazed how many kids came in with their parents to get bikes. The kids were like, yeah, we want to, there was only like, I want to say 3 or 4 families that actually tried to play it like, oh, we're getting you sized so that Santa knows what size bike you want, or, So it was kind of that way where, I played the liaison between Santa Claus and underneath the tree, making sure that Santa Claus got the right bike, So, but let me talk a little bit about the Hearthstone this week.
Okay,
I did almost nothing in ranked. I played a lot of casual with some crazy decks in Rogue. Because we talked about Rogue last week, and it's amazing how it gets me all pumped up, and I play after we talk about it. And then,
I did the same
I'm
thing.
like, oh, we're talking about Hunter? Yeah, I better start playing it. So I didn't start playing Hunter till this morning, but the rest of the week was all questing, and I did play a little bit of ranked play, in Standard and in Wild. I think in Wild I ended up like rank 15, and I think Standard rank 8. But of course, both of those tanked today when I started playing Hunter. I think I'm currently
I think Hunter was your favorite.
Hunter is my favorite. Hunter is definitely my favorite. It's just not working right now. Currently ranked 10 in Standard with Hunter. So it's tough going. It's like 2 steps forward and 1.5 back.
Yeah. Well, I did play the same way like you. I got excited about Rogue, played me some Rogue after we did the show, and found myself creeping from 13 all the way down to 16. I was like, oh, this isn't good.
Oh,
so
you went the wrong way.
Yeah, I went the wrong way. So I kind of got frustrated, and Christmas happened. We had other things going on, and I kind of didn't really feel like getting back in there and having issues. So then you texted me this morning and said, hey, we should do Hunter this week. I was like, oh, yeah, it's a good idea. Let me find a deck for Hunter. So I scrounged up a deck the last minute, ended up playing 11 games with it today, and had moved from 16 to 13.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I had some fun with that Hunter deck, and I'm still having fun with that Hunter deck, and I'm going to continue having fun with that Hunter deck for a little while, maybe before the season ends. So we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping to at least hit 10 so that I can get the advanced chest for the end of the season.
And I thought you had hit 10 the week that I hit 8. I thought
I hit
after
13.
we did Priest. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, the best I got was 13 on it. I had optimistic goals, and I hit a wall at 13.
Yeah, I was knocking on, with my Rogue deck, I was knocking on the door of 7, and I was switching between my Rogue and my Priest. And then, of course, started playing Hunter and went down to 10. But, I mean, it was back and forth, though. Like I said, it was like 2 steps forward and 1.5 back. So it wasn't like I was losing a lot. It was just more than I really wanted to. But definitely having fun like you. You know, Hunter now is the fun deck, at least right now when you're playing ranked. It just doesn't feel as aggressive with all the pirates and rogues out there that are coming at you super strong with all the pirates. It's tough.
You'd need to play my deck then.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm playing
the one I got on tap for us this week. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. It is super aggressive, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, after the news, we'll talk about a few decks that we're playing, and we'll talk about those cards in those decks. Or do you want to talk about the cards first and then talk about the decks?
Let's talk about the cards first, then the decks.
Okay, we'll do that. All right. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the news then?
Well, there's not much news this week considering it was the holidays. Really, the only thing that came out of the news, I would say there was some angst this weekend, this holiday at Blizzard from a Hearthstone community. They were a little jealous because the Overwatch community decided to give 5 loot boxes to all their players that were playing the game. Which it's a really generous to have 5 loot boxes.
So the people at Blizzard got loot boxes?
No, they gave all the players, you and I. In fact, if you log in to Overwatch before January 2nd, I think it is, you get 5 free loot boxes. Okay. Merry Christmas from Blizzard.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, so
I did Heroes of the Storm.
Yep, there's a quest for Heroes of the Storm, which I'm still working on. But it's kind of weird. There's one quest for Winter that is you do 25 games. I think it's 25 wins, and you get a mount, and and you also get a profile. However, I already have the mount. You got the mount before I even did the quest.
Well, you have it. You have it for No, you have it to test out. Yeah, so the way Heroes of the Storm works, they like to let you test things a lot. Like heroes, they have a rotation every week. They let you
Right.
play these heroes that you don't really own. So the way they're doing with the mount is they're letting you test it out, and then it'll be gone once
Ah,
once the holiday is over. But of course, if you play 25 games, then you get to keep it,
okay.
which Rez and I are actually keeping ours. So
Well,
I
I'm
think you
not
were
far
with us. Were
behind.
you with us? I was like, yeah. I was
I
gonna
didn't
say
finish it.
dude. We played a lot of games that night.
I've been
Man, was
playing a
that
lot
fun.
too with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. So yeah, play your games in Here's a Storm to get your mount. Open
Mhm.
Overwatch and get your 5 packs before January 2nd.
I'll have to do that.
And for Hearthstone, nothing. There's nothing. There's no packs, no new card back or anything. That's all. So there were people a little upset. But I think the biggest reason there weren't card packs given is because for example, in Overwatch, when you open a loot box, what you get out of a loot box doesn't affect the game. It's completely incidental. It's character skins, it's sprays, it's those types of things that do not affect the game.
Oh, I see what
The
you mean. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
mount in the mountain Heroes of the Storm doesn't affect the game. It looks awesome with ETC riding on the back of a treasure goblin. That's hilarious. And that type of thing, but it doesn't affect the game. So if they gave packs, there's a possibility it could affect the game because you can get a legendary out of it or you get more dust to this, that, and the other. So that's the reason I think they didn't do it. But there was a lot of people complaining on the forums and Reddit and everywhere else saying, yeah, what about us? You forgot about us. It's all about
Yeah.
me. So unfortunately, didn't happen, but I see the reasons behind it. The other bit of news is Blizzard sent out an email that had a statistic from each of their games from the past year, and I thought it was kind of humorous and fun to kind of go over these numbers for last year. And so I'll just go over these real quick. First one was WoW. This is a World of Warcraft. 169,559,870 squirrels caught in the Aw Nuts World Quest. That's a lot of squirrels.
Dude, that's a lot
Diablo.
of squirrels.
Yeah, Diablo's 601,875 hardcore deaths in Sanctuary.
Can you
Oh,
explain
man.
what that means? I mean, I know what it means, but a lot of people might not know what that means.
Well, I
What's a
understand the
hardcore
hardcore deaths. A hardcore death means a character you can create in Diablo. It's called hardcore. And what
Mhm.
that means is when you play the game, as you level up, if you end up dying at any point while you're on your exploration or during the game itself, that when that character dies, he cannot come back to life. He is dead for good. And you have to start all over. So there's been over 600,000 hardcore deaths, which means permanent deaths, in the game for last year. That's a lot of deaths.
It is. It
Oh.
is. And all those deaths are permanent.
I wonder what the highest level is for one of those deaths. That would be an interesting stat to see.
70.
Well, I meant
Paragon.
rank the Paragon levels. Yeah, after that.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be crazy.
Okay, Overwatch. 217,817,802 payloads delivered. And that's just since it released because it was not out the entire year.
So now a payload isn't on every map, right?
Correct.
That's
It's
only
just
certain maps.
Several maps. Yep.
Yeah. So that's not even like in every game you queue up, there's a payload. There's not a payload in there. So that's
Nope.
That's amazing that there's that many, and that's not even. That's only half the maps have payloads, if that.
Yep. Then Heroes of the Storm, we have 42,981,967 Dragon Knights Unleashed.
I love this now. If I am correct in saying you become the dragon in the dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start the altars going, and then you run to the middle of the map, and you can become the dragon. Yeah, that's oh crazy! Unleash the dragon.
Dragons.
Unleash the dragon.
Okay. Then you got the StarCraft numbers. 25,127,453 victories for Ayur. And I say that because I don't know. I haven't gotten very far in
Oh,
StarCraft at
man. Dude, I feel like a failure. I don't know what IOR is.
all.
Man,
We obviously are not playing enough of Blizzard games,
obviously.
considering
Yeah.
we know what everything else is except for that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jeez.
then the final stat they gave was Hearthstone. Are you ready for this? Not 5 million, but
Okay.
5,829,905 105,234 Murlocs played.
It's a lot of Murlocs, dude. I
A lot
had
of Murlocs.
the Mercopolis. I had the Murloc quest. You had to play 100 Murlocs. It took me like a lot of games. I played a lot of games to get all those Murlocs out. Murloc Shaman, Murloc Warlock, Murloc everything.
So next year we're shooting for 10 billion. Yeah,
We're gonna bump it up.
Yeah, we need to get 10 billion Murlocs played next year. So break out your Murloc
Double
decks.
in 1 year. Bring out your Murlocs. Well, is that it for the
fun
news?
to yeah, that's it. Like I said, not much news, but
Yeah,
it was kind of
quietly.
fun to have those numbers and just a little bit of a hilarity, I guess you would say, somewhat.
I would like to see some stats in Hearthstone. I'd like to see maybe the most played card. What card gets played the most? Is it Loot Hoarder? Is it Novice Engineer? Is it Innervate? What card gets played the most? I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. So Aer or Aur is the Protoss homeworld in StarCraft. So there we go. See me no more. Thank you. Well, speaking of news, last week we had our repeat Tavern Brawl. This Tavern Brawl was the Clockwork Card Dealer. For those of you new to the Clockwork Card Dealer quest, or Tavern Brawl, Tinkertown Gnomes are testing their prototype card bot, Optimotron. Is that how we're going to say that? The card you draw in turn one will be a Optometron. There we go. The card you draw on turn one will be a 1-cost card, if you have one. On turn two, a 2-cost card, and so on and so on. So you basically build your deck with only one or two, I guess, 1-cost cards that are the same, so that you draw into them. So you draw it every time. That's what you draw. Unless you put multiple 1-drops, which I don't know why you would. Multiple 2-drops. You just put the cards you want to draw in your deck. I put up to like turn 8, and then I just started putting crazy stuff in there. I put a bunch of 8s, a bunch of 9s, a bunch of 10s. I did almost every class and just played. I can't even remember what I played, but I had a lot of fun with this. Druid was a lot of fun because you could just go crazy. Let me see. Of course, I played Shaman Murlocs. I had the Murloc quest and Tide Caller, and then Tide Hunter, and then the War Leader, and then what's calling the finishers where you drop 4 Murlocs. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So lots of fun with this. Vasilis, did you get a chance to mess around with this?
Yeah, what I ended up doing was doing a very similar strategy. I put in my deck a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on up, and then I went back and filled in a couple extra 1s, 2s, 3s along the way, so that I'd have a couple options at each level. And that worked out really well. And I'm trying to remember what class I played. I think I played Hunter.
Okay.
No, I played Rogue. Because we had just talked about it, and I had a lot of those. I kind of built a similar deck to what I was playing last week with the Rogue. Just kind of used the same kind of mechanics. So it was fun. I like that one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I played a Conceal Rogue. It was awesome. Kept getting Van Cleef bumped up to 5 billion and then concealing him, and yeah, it was cool. And See Me No More brings up a good point. It was the standard version of this, so you could only use standard cards. So no mad scientists, so you couldn't go crazy with no wild cards. So, but fun anyway. I had a lot of fun. I got my free pack and played a lot of cool decks that I don't normally play because you want to get those perfect draws, and this deck allows you to do that. Or this Time Brawl.
Yep.
Well, how about these
Okay.
hunter cards?
What about them? Oh, you want to talk about them? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's first talk about their family and who they're a part of. Because
There we go.
these guys, we haven't talked about yet. We talked about the other two families, the Jade Lotus and the good old blanked. What are they called again?
Cabal?
Cabal, thank you.
Yeah.
Whoa. I've been so focused on grinding
okay,
goods
dude?
today.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So first week after the mean streets of Gadgetzan.
Yeah, you're getting it.
We talked about Priest, which was part of the Cabal family. Last week we talked about Rogue, which is part of the Jade Lotus family. And this week I thought we would dive into one of my favorite classes, the Hunter, with the Goons family. And we have 3 cards that are part of the Goons family. Again, these tri-class cards can be seen in any of these 3 decks, Paladin, Warrior, and Hunter. The first card is a 3 mana, 2 attack, 4 health, Grime Street Smuggler. This is the common card for the Goons, and its battle cry is give a random minion in your hand, +1/+1. Vestidius, I played this, and it's tough because it only gives 1 minion. So you try to... I tried to get it on the Doppelgangster so much, but, like, I don't know. I like the health of this guy for a card. It just never really went bonkers for me. Unless I had Braun Bronzebeard already on board, which... Braun Bronzebeard, man... MVP 2016, right?
No doubt. He's
working
it.
I bet we've mentioned him. We need to go back, like Facebook goes back and has its flashback of how many times you typed a certain thing. Like, I bet bicycle on my Facebook is typed at least 5 billion times. I think we said Braun Bronzebeard at least 5 billion times this year. But I mean,
well, I wonder though if we compared it to how many times did you say it versus me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How many times I shook my head when you said it. So what do you think of this guy?
It's really cool when you get it with all the other give random minions in your hand and that type of buffs in a good deck together. Just because it's a low cost.
What about with Hunter?
I haven't played it with Hunter. I've only used it with the Paladin and Warrior decks up to this point. So I don't know. But it's an interesting thought to build off that. The deck I have doesn't use any of these cards in it. It uses 4 of the other cards that we'll talk about. Yeah,
so I didn't have a lot of luck with him with Hunter, or her with Hunter. I just wasn't too impressed. This next guy was kind of cool, though. So this next guy is a 2 mana 1/1. He's the Grime Street Informant, and he's the rare card for the Goons with a battle cry: discover a Hunter, Paladin, or Warrior card. This is like the fun guaranteed Goon card, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, having the ability to pull Paladin Warrior cards in your Hunter deck or a Hunter Paladin card in your Warrior deck is awesome. I mean, we already talked about this a little bit on the other families because there's one of these cards in each family. This is one of the killer cards out of this entire set that is just an awesome mechanic. One, it's like you said last week, it's becoming one of your favorite mechanics, the discover mechanic. And then having the ability to pull from 3 classes, it's like, yeah, this is so cool. So,
well, it also it throws your opponent off too, because they don't know what you're getting. When you play this card, you discover it shows you 1 Hunter card, 1 Paladin, and 1 Warrior, of course, for the Goons. And your opponent has it could be anything from King Crush all the way down to Alley Cat. I mean, it could be, it could be weapons. It could be Armor Smith. All kind of crazy. It could be Consecration. Any one of those cards could be the one that you get to pick. so your opponent doesn't know how to play around this. I have gotten a lot of fun cards out of it. Again, it's just Hunter. I don't know. Hunter. It's been tough to play Hunter. It's not doing a lot for me.
Well, I think one of the big issues you have when you're playing with a Hunter card is a lot of the Hunter cards are built around beasts in general, and Paladins and Warriors don't have any beasts, so you're kind of stuck. But you do get some other cards that come through it, things like Brawl and, like you already said, Consecration. Some of those cards and some of the legendaries from the other classes too can show up in this. So you never know what you're going to get, and it could be really good for you, or it may just be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and pick the Hunter card because that's the best option for my deck at this moment.
I mean, you could get Tyrion.
You could. Yep.
You know, so. And then, of course, the leader of this family, the 7 mana, 5 attack, 6 health, Don Hencho with the battle cry, give a random minion in your hand +5/+5. Now, I have had him make my Doppelgangster, my Savannah Highmane. I actually hit an alley cat with it one time.
Oh my!
It's interesting. The thing about alley cat, though, it comes out as a 6/6, but then the tabby cat that it brings with it is still a 1/1.
Still a 1/1.
So it's not like the Doppelgangster. Yeah, it's not like the Doppelgangster where I got the Doppelgangster up to 13/13 and dropped it.
Ouch.
Of course, I knew that the priest was going to have, because it was in wild. I knew the priest was going to have, what's the card that does damage equal to attack and to its health? Light Bomb. Is that it?
Oh, yes, Light Bomb. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I knew he had Light Bomb, and he was waiting for me to play the Doppelgangster. Yeah, so I tried to get it to come out earlier. Like, I played a smaller Doppelgangster, and he just used his guys to clear it. I was like, come on. So I threw out a bunch of beasts, and he kind of cleared those off. And I was like, I held on to that Doppelgangster till I went into fatigue. And then finally I was like, all right. I mean, he's just going to hang on to it now. So I dropped him and had 3 13s on the board, and he, of course, played Light Bomb. And it was sayonara. It was all over. Goodbye. Ciao. So, but Don Hancho, pretty cool. I enjoy playing Don Hancho. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like him too. He's amazing.
Yeah. Well, how about these? So that's the family. Let's get into the actual Hunter cards that we saw. Of course, with the release of the Main Streets of Gadgetzan, each class got 9 unique class cards, and then they got the 3 family cards. So we talked about the family cards. Let's talk about these 9 unique class cards. Hunter, in my opinion, before we start talking about them, didn't seem to get a lot. They got maybe a lot of fun, quirky cards, but nothing insane. Nothing to really boost Hunter, so to speak. All other classes kind of got buffed, boosted. I feel like Hunter really didn't. But this first card we're going to talk about is kind of cool. It goes along with the Goon theme. It is the Shaky Zip Gunner, 3 mana, 3/3, with Death Rattle. Give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. So I threw this guy in a few decks and had some fun with him, and that's about it. Nothing insane. Didn't have a lot of crazy luck with him. How about you, Vestidace? You see anything with this guy?
Again, the same type of thing. It has the effect that gives the random minion extra boost. You have to have a kind of a deck built around that to take advantage of all these things. And being able to play it on turn 3 is not bad, but yeah, again, I would build a deck around the specific mechanic. And the problem is with this is I always forget that it's a death rattle when I play this guy. Because I play it and I go, oh yeah, this will buff. And wait, it didn't buff anything. What's wrong? Oh, man. And then the player, your opponent, sometimes will leave him on the board if he's not too much of a threat. And till later, until you end up in a situation where you've played all your minions and all you got is spells in your hand. Then he kills it and you're like, oh, great, that was useless. So it's kind of hard to control this, is what I'm saying.
You have a tendency not to read cards and misplay. Well, I have a tendency to just misplay. I can't blame it on not reading the card. So with this guy, and I'll talk about this next card too. If you're finished talking about this shaky zip gun. So this 1-mana spell, the Smuggler's Crate, give a random beast in your hand +2/+2. So I'm playing this shaky zip gunner. I'm playing a few other cards, and I end up having the shaky zip gunner and Smuggler's Crate in my hand, and no other minions. I think I might have had a secret, maybe a weapon. So I'm like, oh man, giving shaky zip gunner +2/+2 would be awesome. So I hold it in my hand, I throw down Smuggler's Crate, and I immediately throw it on shaky zip gunner, and I'm like, wait a second. Before it hits, after I play it and before it hits the table, I'm like, why didn't it get the +2/+2 buff? Then I realize, even though this looks like a hyena, it's obviously not a beast because it doesn't say beast. So I was disappointed. I was like, that really tricked me. I thought it was a beast.
So what you're saying is you didn't read the card.
I did. No, I read the card and still did it. So yeah, it was bad. I don't know what. I mean, are you with me on him looking like a beast? I mean,
absolutely. I was gonna say,
looks like a beast. I mean, Knuckles is a beast. Come on.
Yeah, he's one of the cool card art pieces that are in this deck.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, Smuggler's Crate, the card we're talking about right now, I like it in my beast deck. I built a Hunter beast deck, and it works phenomenally. It's really, really cool. You get a lot of bang for your buck for 1 mana. Unfortunately, beast synergies aren't super strong right now, and I think that's why this card isn't busted, because beast checks just aren't that great. So, I mean, coupled with a couple other cards, it's pretty cool. There's not too many beasts out there that you wouldn't mind giving +2/+2 to.
Right.
So, have you...
Speaking of one of those beasts,
yeah,
we do have the Alley Cat, which is one of those beasts that we would like to give +2/+2. Especially considering
So the third card we can talk about is the Alley Cat. It's a 1-mana 1/1 with a battle cry summon a 1/1 cat. Now, like we said earlier, like the Doppelgangster, or unlike the Doppelgangster, this just brings out a 1/1 cat with it. So no matter what the stats are on the Alley Cat, the Tabby Cat, which is actually the cat that it brings out, is not mirrored from this. It's actually just still a 1/1. So unless you find a way to buff it, like with if you got the Grime Street Informant, and that got you a Paladin weapon that gives your minions +1/+1, then that would make the Tabby Cat a 2/2. But not a lot of ways to buff it when it's coming out. Yeah, right. It might happen though. It might happen.
The only way I can see you doing this is using Bronzebeard with it, and you get 2 1/1 kittens.
That'll work. I knew that was coming.
Yeah, you did.
All right, so those were the 3 common cards that we got for Hunter. These 3 are rare, and the first one is the 2-mana, 3-attack, 2-health Trog Beast Rager. His battle cry: give a random beast in your hand +1/+1. He is in my beast deck. He is a monkey holding a chair and a whip. That's it is. What do you think?
What more can I say there? Is a monkey holding a whip.
Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest thing again with this one is that it needs buff. It needs to be in one of these buff decks. So you need to kind of work with this whole mechanic. So again, you got to have beast in your hand, or it's useless, because if you don't have a beast in your hand, then he does nothing. He works with Bronzebeard, and our next card is a great card to use in combination with him. So,
yeah. So this next card is a 4-mana, 2-attack, 4-health beast, the Dispatch Kodo, with the battle cry: deal damage equal to this minion's attack. So the idea with the Kodo is you have to have it in your hand, you have to buff it, or else you're playing a 4-mana card for 2 damage anywhere you want and 2 attack. This deck is tough, man. This is a tough deck because you're having to put beasts in. You're gonna have to have card draw because you want to have something in your hand when you play these cards. You definitely don't want to be playing Trog Beast Rager with no beasts in your hand. You don't. I mean, you can play the Dispatch Coda with just 2 attack anywhere you like. I mean, I've done it. It's not incredible. Like this next card, the 2-mana Secret Hidden Cache. After your opponent plays a minion, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work if you don't have minions in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So this deck is tough to play. This beast goon deck is tough.
Pheasant Plucker in our chat room did bring up a good point too. He said if you're out of cards and you top deck any of these cards, you're still going to lose because none of this changes your game. It doesn't help you in a single card turnaround. You have to. They're all dependent on different pieces to it for you to be able to get the benefit out of it. Now, put all this together, it makes for a very interesting strong deck and a hard deck to counter because your opponent never knows how big those minions are getting. Well, they can unless they're counting, card counting along the way. But you can really shift how things work if you're working them together in a cohesive deck. But if you're not, individually, these cards really don't work a lot without the other one around with it.
Yeah. Well, the last 3 cards we're going to talk about, 2 epics and a legendary. The first one is a weapon. For 5 mana, you get a 2 attack, 4 durability Piranha Launcher. And we saw this early on. I believe this is one we saw at BlizzCon. They talked about it. Whenever your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 Piranha. I thought this was pretty cool. You play Grime Street Informant and get the Warrior card upgrade. That would be really neat. That way you got 5 durability on this weapon. You get a few Piranhas. I mean, you're getting a 1/1 Piranha every time you attack. You know, if you attack every turn, you're getting a 1. It's tough, man. It's tough. I don't have this card, so I can't really say it plays well or it plays bad. Or I saw it played at BlizzCon. I thought it was really cool, and the artwork is neat. That thing shooting those piranhas out.
Oh yeah,
is pretty cool. We got to see that during the panel at BlizzCon. Fastidious, do you have this card?
No, I think I do. I don't remember off the top of my head, but because I thought about including it in this last deck, but that I'm using. But one I'm using right now, it doesn't fit at all with the theme of my deck. So
yeah,
I have not used it. But yes, like you did say, it's really cool graphics involved in this one, and the whole concept is just crazy. I mean,
right?
A gun that shoots piranhas. I mean, how much scarier can that be? I don't like
pretty
piranhas,
cool.
man.
And I believe the piranhas are beasts, right?
Yes, they are.
They should be. Okay, I was going to say. All right. Well, this next guy, definitely a beast. He is a 3 mana, 2 attack, 2 health rat pack. With the Death Rattle, summon a number of 1/1 rats equal to this minion's attack. The idea is you're buffing him in your hand, you're buffing him when he's on the board, and then he gets, when he dies, you get that many 1/1 rats according to his attack. So Houndmaster works well with this guy. All those give beasts in your hand +1/+1 works well. The weapon, what's the weapon? I got it one time. It was the Brass Knuckles. So Brass Knuckles, when you attack, it gives a minion in your hand +1/+1. So all I had was the rat pack in my hand, and I attacked, and it kept giving it +1/+1, which was really cool. Of course, that was luck of the draw with the Grime Street Informant again. Again,
Right,
Grime
yeah.
Street Informant, such a neat card because you don't know what you're going to get. I got Brass Knuckles, which was advantageous considering Rat Pack was sitting in my hand. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Have you played Rat Pack yet? Have you had a chance to use it?
Nope. Same thing. Haven't built a deck around this concept yet.
Okay. I got him up to 5 attack, and had him die, and of course got all the 1/1 rats. And it was pretty cool. I ran them all into one of his taunt minions the next turn and killed them all off. But I just imagined a bunch of rats attacking him, and it was kind of funny. I laughed a little bit. So Rat Pack, an interesting card. I did put it in most of my new Hunter decks, just because, I mean, when it dies, you get beasts, and they're both 1/1. So not too bad. It's like an upgraded Haunted Creeper, because you remember the Haunted Creeper was 2 mana, and you got 2 Spectral Spiders. Infested Wolf is 4 mana, and you get 2 1/1 regular spiders, right? I think. And so for this, you get a number of rats equal to its attack. So hopefully you're buffing this to at least 3/3 or have at least 3 attack. That way you get 3 rats when it dies. I liked it. And of course, in the decks that I run this, and I also run the Zoth, and it brings it back, and then it dies again, and rats go everywhere. All rats.
Oh, boy.
And then this last guy. This last guy's a beast. He's the legendary. The 5 mana, 3 attack, 7 health. I want to say he's a silverback gorilla. This is Knuckles. So Knuckles, and if you go back, before we knew about Knuckles, you go back and you watch Rez and I's video where we tried to talk about what we thought Don Hancho would do. This is very similar to what we were talking about. After this attacks a minion, it also hits the enemy hero. So, pretty cool, right? It's got double attack, kind of, because we were talking about Don Hencho being the bruiser and then the gunner. So the gunner would hit the hero, the bruiser would attack the minion, and this is similar to what Knuckles does. So I'd like to say Rez and I called it, just the wrong legendary. So have you had a chance to play Knuckles, or do you have Knuckles?
I don't have them.
Yeah?
I don't have Knuckles. Nope.
Yeah, no?
No,
I
do
don't
not
have Knuckles
have
either. He's cool. I like the artwork, and he might be a little bit too slow for Hunter, but I mean, he's pretty cool. 3 attack isn't a lot, though, especially when you're playing Hunter.
If you combine him with Don Hancho, give him a +5/+5, he'd be a little more difficult.
An 8/12 was pretty stout. I hear an 8/12 pretty stout.
When he hits minion and then goes straight to face, ouch.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time.
Yeah, I want to see his animation. So, well, that's it for our Hunter cards. Vestidius, you have one deck that you want to talk about, so we'll let you talk about that deck real quick. Why don't we do that?
Are you sure you want to do that?
You want me to go first?
No, if you like, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll just, because yours is,
Okay.
you said yours isn't quite as, you didn't have as much fun with yours, and I had fun with mine, so.
Oh, well, I definitely had fun. I just didn't feel like it was very viable. Like, my fun was like 51% win rate on each of these. So I played a Yogg-N'Zoth Hunter deck, which I had built a long time ago when Whispers of the Old Gods came out. So I added one card to that deck, Rat Pack. And it's pretty cool. I want to say I added Smuggler's Crate too. So I think I added Smuggler's Crate to that. Because Smuggler's Crate is the one that gives... Yeah, there we go. So I added Smuggler's Crate just so I could get a few of these synergies going on with a few of the beasts that I have in there. It's a fun deck. Of course, Yogg-Saron, always fun. N'Zoth, always surprising in Hunter because people don't expect it. Then I made a new Beast Hunter deck, and this is actually based on the recipe that Blizzard gives you. So with the debut of the Mean Streets of Gadgetzan, Blizzard has new deck recipes. We talked about them before. You can go in. Unfortunately, I did not have Knuckles, which is what they called for, and I actually changed a few other cards too. So in my Beast Hunter deck, I put in Alley Cat, I put in Smuggler's Crate, Hidden Cache, Trog Beastmaster, Grime Street Smuggler, Rat Pack, Shaky Zip Gunner, the Dispatch Kodo, Doppelgangster, which we didn't talk about Doppelgangster today, but we talked about it before. It's a 5-mana card that is, I want to say it's 3/3 with a battle cry, make 2 duplicates of this card. So the idea is you buff it up, and then it makes 2 duplicates of that buffed card. And then, of course, Don Henshow in that deck. It's definitely fun. Is it viable competitively? Not really. But it plays almost like a control deck, if you will. So control decks, you manage to take down all their minions, do a little bit of health. You almost do a little bit of damage. You almost win by attrition. Not necessarily doing fatigue damage, but getting close. And then you just whittle them down to where you have bigger minions at the end, and, you know, they hopefully don't play Light Bomb.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, of course, I added a few new cards to my Face Hunter. Alley Cat, Rack Pack, Dispatch Dodo. Haven't played a lot of this yet, but it's definitely not as viable as it used to be. Hunter just didn't seem to have the viability in ranked play like it used to, and I don't know whether it's because I'm going up against all pirate warriors or pirate rogues. Felt like today was filled with just patches everywhere, just constantly patches. Every turn 1 was patches, and Small Time Buccaneer or Nazos First Mate. It was just insane. And once they got that ball rolling, it's so fast. It's not a lot of fun. So, I mean, you know, getting beat down isn't really fun, but I kept going, and I found some fun. So those are my 3 decks that I played today. I played probably 4 or 5 games with each of them. I put probably 20 games in today, and managed to just stay right around rank 10. So how about you, dude?
Okay.
You said you're having fun.
I'm having a blast with this.
Of course, I can't click on this link. My internet will break.
Don't click on a link yet, but later on, click on it.
Okay.
I was searching for a deck that was a hunter deck with the new cards and just kind of get an idea. And I came across this one I saw. It's called Secret Meta Crusher. And I kind of changed the name, made it more personal to Secret Crush. Because I have a secret crush on this deck at the moment.
It's not a secret anymore.
Not a secret anymore. I will give you a word of warning. It is on Hearthstone.com where they have the link for reviewing this. As Espo says, the site can slow your machine down if you have a lot of detailed stuff on here, including ads. But also, this person who posted it, their language isn't 100%. I mean, there's still some kind of shaky words in the comments in it. Are worse too, so be careful about the language on it. But in general, it is more of a control / face, not face, but control aggressive deck. And the cards it includes there from this pack are actually, hold on a second here. There may not be enough. There may not be any cards in here from this pack. It's all. Sorry.
You mean from this set? From Main Street?
Yeah, from this set. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Figures. I didn't read the. Yeah, I misunderstood the logo they used for this on the deck. This has a bunch of Gadgetzan cards in it.
You cheated.
Okay, so this
right.
This deck is awesome. It is still a lot of fun. Disregard all that I didn't read the deck.
About the main streets. So what Mercedes is trying to say is Hunter in Main Streets of Gadgetzan for him is fun if you don't play Main Streets of Gadgetzan cards. Oh, Fastidious, you're the man.
Goodness.
You are
okay, so anyways, this deck is still fun, okay? And it's working against the current meta, so too bad. The key triggers on this one. Cat Trick. Okay, this is a secret deck. That's what's awesome about this. This is a secret deck. So you could put in here the secret, but it won't do you any good. Okay, so you got a lot of the secrets in here, but the key cards in this deck, and the ones that you're going to try and pull out fast in the beginning, is Secret Keeper, good old Secret Keeper, the Cloaked Huntress, which is a card
I
that
love her.
all your secrets cost 0. She's a 3/3/4 mana, a 3 mana, 3/4 minion. And then there's an interesting card in here, the Curator. He's a legendary out of the Gadgetzan deck. He's a 7 mana, 4/6 mech, and he has a taunt, battle cry, draw a beast, dragon, and murloc from your deck. And the key thing about him that's fun is that you don't have a murloc in your deck, but you do have a dragon, and you do have many beasts. And so this, typically what the beast you have in your hand, it's the Savannah Highmane. That's the only beast you have in your hand. So you have Savannah Highmane, you have Azure Drake, you're guaranteed you're going to get one, unless you have them already played, you're going to get these in your hand, and you're going to be able to play them. So they're nice to have those available really quick. But again, the star of this one is called the Wild, all the secrets, and Barnes is actually in here too because you've got Ragnaros as one of the minions in your hand. So Barnes pulls out some pretty good stuff. Although every time I played him, I've gotten Secret Keeper. Like, really? Come on. Bring out Ragnaros. A 1/1 Ragnaros that does 8 damage. That would be sweet. So sorry I gave you a messed up deck.
No, it's okay, dude.
But it's good. It's fun.
You made your point. Your point was made.
The point I didn't know I was making.
That's right. That's right. You had no idea you were making this point, and it was that Mean Streets of Gadgetzan had no hunter cards that you wanted to play. So there we go.
This is what I get.
Dude. It's all good.
Pulling together a deck last minute, right?
No, you're all right. I'm fine with it. I'm cool. It's all good. All right, so that's it for this week's talk about class cards. Next week we'll dive into the Cabal again, and we will.
Now, before we go anywhere, there's something important we need to talk about. We had an email that we need to discuss.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you if we got any iTunes reviews, but yeah, I'll ask for emails too.
But here's the deal. I don't want anybody to stop this listening because this is going to be an interesting conversation, and you don't need to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. This is like
because I was going to leave
after a Marvel movie.
I was going to leave.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Marvel movies, if you're in a Marvel movie and the movie ends, why are you getting up out of your seat? Haven't you learned by now there's always something after the credits in a Marvel movie? And most likely, there are 2 things. Probably something after the after credits. So stay in your seat till that light comes on in the auditorium.
That's right.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so we did get an email from Mothball Wizard. He had a subject about Brawl.
Okay.
And I'm going to read through the email. It's all important for you to understand it. So he says,
can't paraphrase.
No, you need to hear this, most of it. So
okay, I'm ready.
Okay, he says, I'm a little late with this, but I was listening to episode number 121, where we were discussing the latest Death Rattle Brawl and how Espo was giving SDS a hard time about playing Face Hunter in the Brawl. Remember that?
Well, I gave everybody a hard time, not just you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I pointed out everybody.
Exactly. And so he said he loves your passion for the experience, and he understands where you're coming from with your comments, but he wanted to shed some light on the topic.
He loves whose
from
passion?
A different direction.
I'm confused.
Your passion.
He loves your passion from a different direction?
He loves Espo's passion for the Hearthstone experience.
Oh, thank you.
And
I do
he
have
gets
a little bit
where
of a
you're
passion
coming
for this
from.
game. Ah, yes.
But then he says, but.
Oh, jeez. There's always a but. I knew it. I can't get a compliment without a but. It's all right. I'm used to it. My kids do the same thing to me, so I'm ready. Bring it.
Okay. As a new player.
Yes, new player. I love
the people you like to talk to. The brawls where you start a given deck are a ton of fun. Where they're giving you a deck.
Yes.
Yeah, you get to play with new or old cards that you don't have in your collection. You don't have the dust to craft. However, in brawls like the Death Rattle Brawl, they wind up being extremely frustrating for me.
And I want to buy every week. How the pre-constructed ones are fun because you get to play with all the cards from the collection, but the ones where you have to construct your decks, not good for new players. I should put a warning up every week. Not good for new players. Go on. This guy's on the same page as me.
Okay, I want to buy into the theme and go and craft a Death Rattle deck. So I open up my collection, do a search for Death Rattle, and gaze upon my glorious collection of 5 Death Rattle cards.
Yeah, not
and
fun.
Half of these go and do damage to my face.
Ooh.
So they weren't really viable.
That's not good. Okay, no good.
Good. I still gave it my best shot, but after about 5 games where I only made it to about turn 4 or 5 before either conceding or having my face bashed in, I was pretty frustrated and had to stop playing for a while.
Dude, I see where this guy's going. Keep going. I think I know what's happening here.
That 1 pack a week is really valuable to a new player like me. So I eventually took Fastidious's approach, came back to the game, constructed a mid-range hunter, and won my next 3 matches. I want to get into the game and enjoy the brawls. Sometimes a new player collection can be very limiting. So we can't win all the time, but what would you recommend to new players who are faced with a situation like this so that we can engage in the rich world that a Hearthstone team crafts for us and still get our packs while having fun? Throwing another log on the fire.
Yes, no, so this guy is my type of player. I like this, and this is an issue, and I'm glad he brings this up because when I remember talking about this because I believe that I was on the same page as a lot of other people who in our Facebook group were talking about building awesome Death Rattle decks and having a lot of fun, and then they'd run into like a Pirate Warrior that would be all face, 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 or a Hunter that would be all face, face, face. And I'm usually pretty good about putting myself in other people's shoes. But unfortunately that week I was not. And I apologize. Because if I was, I would have put myself in the new player's shoes where you do look into your collection and you look for Battle Cry, or you look for Death Rattle, or you look for Discover, and you find 2, maybe 3 cards that are actually viable. Well, you can't build a deck with those cards. That's not going to work. So what do? Well, you got to get your free pack. So you go to a deck that you know you already have, to a deck that you know wins. You play that 1 game, you get your pack, and unfortunately bow out for that week. At least we have our Tavern Brawl. Blizzard tried to take it away from us for 1 week. I was very disappointed. Everybody lost out on that 1 pack because, like this guy says, new players count on that extra pack every week. They're probably getting maybe 3 packs a week. This is the 4th extra pack that they're getting just for winning a Tavern Brawl. And the Tavern Brawls like this, where you have to pull from your own collection, are hard for new players. So I apologize for not putting myself in the new player's shoes. Usually I try to do that, but this week I think I got caught up in the drama and I fell short. So I am very sorry for that. And I will do better next time.
Is that Fastidious wasn't necessarily ruining everyone's fun?
No, you were doing it wrong, dude. I believe your collection is pretty big. I believe your collection is big enough that you can make a Death Rattle deck.
I typed Death Rattle into my collection, and I got no cards that came back. It's spelled D-E-T-H, right?
That's right, D-E-D.
Yeah.
Dead.
Dead.
So this is an awesome email. Guys, if we get more emails like this, I will love it. I just awesome.
Absolutely.
I think that this helps us out a lot because we do get caught up. I mean, I am obviously not a new player anymore. So sometimes it's tough for me to put myself in the new player's shoes. So I need people like these guys to kind of bring me back, because that's what I'd like our podcast to be about. I'd like to be about the new player experience, the casual player experience. So yeah, I remember those days when I would type stuff into my, I'd type Beast in. Like when Rez and I were first doing the versus battles, I was like, dude, let's play girls versus dudes, or let's play mechs versus beasts. And yeah, it was it was tough sometimes, because pre-GBG, mechs just weren't, few and far between. You had Harvest Golem. I mean, Alarmabot. It was pretty crazy. You didn't have a lot. And so I'm there with you, and I really do appreciate this email. I apologize again, and I'd like more emails like this. This is awesome. So thank you for emailing, and thank you for bringing me back from my large player collection. But I do want to reiterate that I'm on the team that thinks that when Blizzard puts out a Tavern Brawl, it should be from the entire collection. Either you get your collection enlarged so you can build a viable deck, or it's built for you. So those are the Tavern Brawls I really like, because I know some of these Tavern Brawls, like this Death Brawl, if you're a new player, you just can't play it. You're just building a mid-range hunter and you're winning. You win that one game, you bow out. I mean, maybe like this guy, you play two more just to kind of make sure. You're like, yeah, it's definitely winning. I'm going to win again, and I'm going to win again because I'm going to get back at these guys that beat me. That's cool, But if you're like Fastidious and you have a super huge collection, you have all the cards, and you're still playing Face Hunter.
I don't have all the cards. I'm missing a lot.
No, you don't. You're obviously missing a lot from the mean streets of Gadgetzan, because you have none in your Crush Secret Hunter deck.
Yeah. By the way, I do want to say, awesome. in this topic, when we get the opportunity to speak to Blizzard, like with Matt Place, this is actually how we got to talk to Matt Place in the first place. Talking about our passion for the new players. And this question is one I know Espo asked him directly. He's like, what are you going to do about Tavern Brawls for new players who don't have full collections? And so it's important that we're able to have that opportunity to put that up in front of the developers, because they do listen. And, in this case, too, post what you posted or something very similar to your story in the Reddit Reddit/r/Hearthstone. The devs read that, and that's where you can get feedback to them so that it may make a change. You never know. So send it to us first so we can read it on the show and talk about it, but then go out and post it on Reddit. So, there you go.
That's right. Yeah, so during the Q&A, I did ask some new player questions. If you guys missed out on the BlizzCon this year, Rez and I actually got into the Q&A on the Hearthstone panel, and we got to talk to those developers and game designers about the new player experience. And then afterwards, I got to talk a lot at length with Matt Place in person at BlizzCon. I walked with him quite a bit and talked to him specifically about the new player experience, the Tavern Brawl experience, and the face-to-face fireside gathering experience, because I was a volunteer for Cryptozoic back during the WoW TCG, and that was my job as a volunteer, was to get these fireside gatherings going, to get that new player into the game quicker, and to get them obviously buying packs of cards quicker. So I talked to Matt Place about that, and he and Yongwu agreed that they need to do a little bit of research, thought, and new, different implementation with the Tavern Brawls and the Fireside Gatherings. So hopefully they're working on that stuff, guys. But this kind of stuff, emails, Reddit posts, Twitter posts, keep them coming, and I will do my part to talk about it every week and make sure that the people at Blizzard hear about it.
Now, on Twitter, we did have another tweet we wanted to identify. Not Rob, from one of our friends over at the Velen's Chosen podcast, tweeted out, wanted to shout out fellow podcasters for happy holidays. at Coin Concede, at LOTI Podcast, at Hero Powercast, at GW Podcast, and at The Overview GG, which are a bunch of different podcasts that cover both Hearthstone and Overwatch. And we just wanted to say thank you for shouting us out. It's awesome to be a part of that list of awesome podcasts. So,
yeah, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you. I believe he's in Japan now, so
that would explain why he has those funny-looking characters after his Not Rob.
Yeah, I want to say he's doing something with animation over there, or anime, or
yeah, he did just have on his Twitter that he's doing some anime stuff.
Okay, well, our Facebook shout out this week is awesome. It goes out to Sharmo in our Facebook group. He says, "Oh my God, you aren't going to believe this. I know you guys are going to think I was sniping, but I promise it was all luck. I played Crip again." So he had a post earlier where he says, "Hey guys, played my arena and played Crip, and I won." He says, "I played the first match and was freaking out because I saw my name on his stream, but I still won. Then my wife wanted me to wrap Christmas presents for her son, so I did. I was telling my wife I wish I didn't misplay my match with him. Then I came back to finish my arena run, and I played one match and won when queued again. I get redemption. I hit Crip again. I didn't make any misplays this time, and I won. I also closed out his stream because I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if any of you watch Twitch, but it's on a slight delay, but there's this thing called sniping, where if I queue into a person I know is on Twitch, I can turn on Twitch on my one screen and be playing Hearthstone on the other, and I can look over at their hand because they're like on a minute delay, so I can see what they had in their hand a minute ago, possibly see, what they will play or what they are playing. So it's called sniping. So Ducharme wants to point out that he did not snipe. As soon as he found out he was playing Crip, he turned off the stream. And yeah, he said he is still a better Hearthstone player than I, but I can say I beat Crip twice. And then he posted a link to the Twitch video, which is 4 hours long, and I watched 5 minutes and didn't see the match. So I guess I need to go through. I'm not very good at watching Twitch. My ADD kicks in. I don't watch television. I just can't sit still that long. So that's why I like Hearthstone so much, because I could make my play and then go throw a load of laundry in, come back, make another play, go brush my teeth, make another play, go fold a few shirts. So you can't. I don't know. Some people sit there and they watch
on your internet.
Yeah. So I can't. Oh, that's true too. That might be another reason why I don't. Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I watched Twitch to watch this, but I made it like 5 minutes in, and I don't even think it was watching. I just kind of clicked. But so Ducharmo, that's really, really cool. That's neat. I always like those kind of stories when we see these people on Twitch, and then you go up against them.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Zerocho had a similar story where he played a pro player. So, and it was streamed. But grats to Sharmo, that's really cool. And Sharmo is one of our listeners that helps us with the podcast. So shout out to him.
Yeah, and he's also been quite involved with his fireside gatherings down in his location, which he was telling us in the Facebook chat and Facebook group that he didn't have any fireside gatherings in this area. So we're like, dude, start one. Like, I can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can. Go for it. And sure enough, he goes out, starts it. Next thing you know, he's going nuts. Not only is he doing that, he's going to be starting up a Heroes of the Storm. He's going to try that out, too. He's going to have Heroes of the Storm meetup group to see if anybody wants to show up to that, too. So it's great. Go out there to your community if you don't have one already and start your fireside gathering and get some people involved who want to come and just play the game and have fun hanging out. So awesome job. Keep up the good work. So that's it for this week. So next week we'll pick another class to talk about, dig into that one a little bit further. It will be the new year as well. So hopefully everyone has a good, happy new year. We'll see you next year, of course. If you want to email us, your stories or your information, you can do that at info@legendoftheinnkeeper.com, or go to the website at legendoftheinnkeeper.com and post a comment or contact us. And that's actually how we got the message from Mothball Wizard. And you can also follow us on Twitter at LOTI Podcast or at XCMTV Gamer. And you can support us on Patreon at Legend of the Innkeeper. So it's patreon.com/Legend of the Innkeeper. So that's it. We'll talk to you guys next week, and have a great end of the year and a happy new year.
Good job, team.
Awesome.
I don't know what Zero meant. I'm that guy. What's that guy? I mean, I know I'm a guy, but what is that guy? Good job, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out in Twitch. I had it open, but I didn't want to look at it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Dude, I could have sworn at one point you said
ropes doing household chores. Maybe.
Yeah, that's
maybe I
probably
wrote
this.
I don't know.
At one point, I could have sworn you said butt knuckles when you were talking about knuckles.
You thought I said
what?
You thought I said but yeah, I was slurring my words there and forgot the A or the B or the C. What? I don't know. I forgot a letter. Anyway. But
okay, well.
Yeah, Hunter had me crazy.
Well, thanks again, guys, for hanging out with us. We'll check back in with you guys a little bit later, and hopefully you'll be able to join us next week.